Yes. Yes. All right. Good morning, everyone. Janessa will be here shortly. Uh, that's right. And we need her today. Before we get going, is there any questions from the previous weeks that you have? Anything that that you've struggled with or have questions about in your efforts? Good. How many of you have taken the chance to increase either your cardio work and or your strength work? Okay, very good. So that's great. Very good. Are you noticing anything? Are you finding anything? Uh-huh. Is that right? Okay. So for the recording, one of your classmates, yeah, that's right, got to repeat it, is hitting the volleyball better. So watch out for Maria in the pool because she's got that left hand that's just dominating. That's great. Anything else? And it is kind of interesting where it shows up and just where, that extra effort shows up. Okay. So now oh yeah. Has everyone been getting the emails? Okay. And have you been able to open the okay. Okay, so we'll talk about that here in a sec. Vicky, you haven't gotten the emails or that you just okay. So what we're going to do, and what Janessa did for this last one, is we're putting all of the exercise videos in a file. And for some of you, you may need to ask for permission to open the file. And if that's the case, just go ahead and request permission, and Janessa will send it to you. Okay, so so like all of the functional strength exercises, all of today's and all of the exercises going forward will all show up in one file. So it's not going to be like a file for functional strength, a file for agility, a file for balance, and so forth. It will be all in one place, so you can go to it and open it up. So again, if you need permission, then go ahead and just ask for that. Yeah, and all the handouts will be in that file, so it'll all just go to that file. Okay, and it's a Google Doc or Google, what is it? A Google folder. Okay, so so see how that works, and if it doesn't work, then let us know. If yeah, today or maybe early tomorrow. Yeah. So the people that have charter email, for some reason, a lot of those bounce back, and because the file that we sent was too large, and so that was the purpose for putting it in the file in this new Google file. So if I understand what's going on, the files were put in the cloud. Well, first of all, we just tried to send them to you. Now we're putting them in the cloud so that you don't have to receive this monster file. It's just up there, or I don't know, maybe the cloud's down there. I don't know where the cloud is, but it's around us. And so we're just going to, so that way you just have access to the file and then you can download it yourself. Okay? Bookkeeping, another thing. Remember, next week we're not here. Okay, you get a week off, and that'll allow you to really dial in the things we've talked about so far. So just remember, we're not here next Wednesday or Thursday. Again, all this, everything that's going on is recorded and will be downloaded. The YouTube link will be in the file or in the email, and then The exercises will be in the file. Okay, now that we've done all that computer speak. So Vicki, if you continue to have trouble, let us know and we'll make sure that you're good. Did you see the Google file? Not sure? Yeah, don't do that. Big mistake. Okay. Okay, so if it was a separate link, then you probably didn't see the Google file. And anyway, okay, yeah. Okay, for those of you in our viewing audience, we're just clearing up confusion and we're good. Okay, all right. Any other comments, questions, anything that we need to review? Okay, let's get started. So today we are talking about agility, and agility is something that is very closely linked to balance. You have to have, in order to have better balance, you need better agility. But in order to have better agility, you also need to have better balance. So they kind of work together. But what agility is, in the sporting world, agility is the ability to move very quickly and react to a dynamic set of events. So like on the football field, if you are agile, in fact, that's what we used to yell, that agile, mobile, hostile. That was what we did. We still didn't win, but so maybe there's nothing to that. I don't know, but no. But it's the ability to react quickly to a changing environment. So if I'm going to tackle and the running back cuts a certain way, I'm able to react to that very quickly and still maintain my balance and my intent. It applies to us on a day-to-day basis. For instance, if you're going downtown to have dinner and you're walking on the sidewalk, and that the sidewalks in Old Town are uneven and up and down, and there's trees and other people coming, and so it requires agility to be able to, so when you're walking down, that people aren't clearing a path for you because they see that you need a path. You're just able to react. You step a little to the right, you step a little to the left. You're moving, adapting, changing. If the sidewalk rises a little bit, you're able to pick up your stride, or you're able to step to the side, or you're just able to respond to the changing environment. Does that make sense? Okay, and so that's what agility is. But also, and when we're doing our balance exercises, we'll do a static balance, heel to toe. And for some of you, this will be very challenging to stand heel to toe. And where agility comes in is that. That's agility, is that reaction. Okay, it's just, and so you can see how that's a part of your balance, is being able to react quickly. Okay, and so that's why we're talking about agility. That's why it's such an integral part of our fitness. Okay, and so these exercises, the spirit of the exercise, and I hope that you'll remember that you're applying the principles that these exercises are demonstrating, is to move quickly, to move intentionally. So you're connecting your body, specifically your legs, to your brain. And so they're talking to each other. And those pathways exist, they just need to be reminded. Okay? What happens is, because with agility, and one of the reasons why we don't train it as much is because it's a little higher risk. You have to challenge your body sometimes more than you're willing to challenge it. And because of that, we don't challenge it, and so our agility diminishes because we're just not willing to train it. And so we have to mitigate the circumstances that affect agility. So we want to minimize the risk and maximize the return, of course. I mean, that's one of life's pursuits, is doing that. And that's what we want to do here, is to minimize the risk. So some of the things that you need to be aware of. What are you, when you are practicing, what is your footwear? Or even if you're going to be in a challenging environment, what is your footwear? For instance, you would not want to practice agility on carpet. That would be a bad place to do it, especially wearing tennis shoes, because you've got high grip with your shoes, and then you have that high hazard from the carpet. That carpet can hang up your shoes, and and you're left to. It will challenge you beyond your capacity to respond. So I would recommend don't do agility on the carpet. I would prefer a floor that is like a hardwood floor, or one of those manufactured, the laminate floors would be good. Okay? And then again, watch what footwear you're wearing. Tennis shoes, they're made to have, or running shoes, whatever shoes you're wearing, are made for the traction. Okay? And in this case, traction isn't necessarily your friend. So the ideal thing would be like socks on a hardwood floor, or if that's a little too risky, maybe those hospital socks that have the grippy stuff on the bottom on a hardwood floor would be a better footwear flooring combination. Okay, things again, the grabby. This floor is not great for agility for two reasons. Number one, it is a grabby floor. It's made to be able to cut quickly, so you're not going to slip. So shoes on this floor are generally real grabby, so we don't love this floor. But number two, this is a trade secret, but when they laid the concrete, it was really cold, and they weren't able to smooth it out as well as they'd like, and so the concrete does this, but you can't see it on the floor. And so I happen to know because I stand here when I teach, but there's actually kind of a divot right here, and so I'll be going to change the music, and I trip, which isn't very becoming for your teacher to be stumbling. However, so the point of that is find a place, a surface that's good for you. Someone asked about their garage. Would the garage be good? And my answer is maybe. The risk is if things don't go well, you have a very hard surface to land on. And hard surfaces aren't our friends. But it does have a nice slip to it. And not too much, but enough slip that you could that it would work for you. So minimize the risks. I guess the moral of the story is evaluate it, see how you feel. If you feel a little bit insecure, then find something else. Okay, yes. Bare feet, well, that's interesting. So the question was bare feet. If your feet are sweaty, then that's going to, and depending on the floor, if it's a tile floor, then you're slippery. But if it's a wood floor, then that's going to work okay. If your feet are dry, then you just have to, play that. Just see, again, evaluate the interaction between your footwear or lack of footwear and the floor you're on. Okay, and if you feel a little bit funny, then don't do it. Again, carpet, I would just pretty much stay away from carpet unless you want the advanced, the real advanced level training. Okay, so the first exercise that we want to show you today is just a high knee exercise. This one you can do standing, you can also do it seated, okay, and it's just the idea of lifting those feet up. Okay, and Janessa pointed out yesterday, and if you don't mind, Janessa, I'm going to steal your stuff here, but she said one of the reasons we do that is so as we age, again, we kind of get used to walking like this, okay, and that is an indication of a lack of agility, actually, is because we're here and we're afraid to reach out with our step, because bad things happen when we reach out. So we reduce our stride length, and so we're shuffling. Okay, so our feet can get hung up on the littlest things when we shuffle. It doesn't take much. And so we want to lift our knees. All of these exercises should be done for about 30 seconds. if you are really devoted and you really want to make balance and agility part of your life, then you would do it 2 or 3 times a day. It's just something that you're kind of practicing all the time. So when you think about it, just work on this. And then also when you're walking, just work on picking up your feet. Okay? Get them up, get them up. Now, as you improve, why? You speed it up a little bit, because remember, speed is part of agility or quickness. Okay, so you can pick it up here, and again, you can do this from a chair. We do this in our chair class. And then when you're feeling really frisky, why, you can add a little skip to it if you'd like. Okay, and that just adds that little extra pop in there that's good for you. Okay? Okay, so those are the high knees. Very basic, but something that you could do safely almost anywhere. Okay, so work on that. Any questions about the knee lifts? Okay, so we're going to go, that's true. Janessa points out that it also strengthens the hips, which is good. That's right. So the next one is the box step, and Janessa, we're going to come demonstrate this. We had a little argument about what actually a box step is, and Janessa, well, okay. Here, wear this.
Yeah, let everybody know that I won the argument. So with the box step, it's similar. It's the dance move, right? So I don't know how many of you know the box step. Obviously, my dad does not. So what you do is, and you can probably do it better than I can, you step, well, see, I already did it wrong. Here, like that, okay? You're just making a box with your feet. Now, if you don't know how to do the box step, that's totally fine. But my dad's version is you go up, up, back, back, okay? The biggest point of this exercise is that change in direction, okay? So it's going forward and backward. Again, nice and quick, nice and fast. And then with the other box step, you're kind of going to the side here, right? It's just that change in direction. That's what we're after with this exercise.
Okay, any questions about that one? Again, if you're not feeling secure doing that, and the speed that you do it is important, but what's more important is that you're doing it, right? So if this is what we get, then that's what we'll take, but we want you to work on picking up your tempo a little bit, okay? So that before long, you're just up, okay? So questions. You could do that standing next to a counter, standing next to a sofa, standing, somewhere maybe in a hallway where you've got something to help you if things don't go well. If you're feeling comfortable, then, you can do it anywhere you like. You could do it in the bread aisle at Safeway. I don't care. Okay? So to Janessa's point, and we're just going to skip down to the very bottom of your handout, dancing in all its forms is a wonderful way to work on agility. It's wonderful. It's fun. It's entertaining. You can dance by yourself. You can dance with someone, but you're just getting that rhythm, that rhythmic movement, and you're just picking up your feet. Of course, you're going to be safe, but it's a very highly effective way to work on your agility. Okay, it's just a dance, and whatever dance you like. Okay. Kind of skipping around a little bit here. So in that vein, so we did Janessa's version of the box step, the correct version, I guess, is a dance step. We also do a little triple step, and you'll see that down, I think at the bottom on the right. So it's just a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and at first, when you're first practicing that, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you can just turn and just go forwards. But when you get better, then you try it going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That little change of stance, that little up, that's agility. Okay, we're just working on that quick change, making the muscles go a little faster than they're used to going. Okay, you can also go side to side. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So just working that in all directions. Okay? Yeah, it's a cha-cha. That's right. Okay? And if you want to add some artistic value to it, then you do that ba ba ba, and you can, and that's fine. That's great. Okay? That's all you get though. That's all the art you get today. So but yeah, do that and enjoy it. Have fun with it. And dancing with someone is great because you have each other to hang on to. If there's no one around, then dance around the house. Again, Safeway, Fred Meyer, they don't mind people dancing down the aisles. Not, yeah, from experience, that's right. We did an experiment yesterday and no one minded. Okay, Janessa, you want to demonstrate the forward and backward walks? Okay, so forward and backward walk. She walks forward, stops, changes direction. Walks backward, stop, change direction. Picks up her tempo a little bit. Okay, again, if you can't go that fast, then slow it down. Do what you can do. Do something more than what you're doing. Okay? And I hope that you're getting that theme with everything we've talked about and everything we will talk about. Do something more than what you're doing. If you want to improve, you have to challenge your system. You have to overload the system a little bit.
The important part of this exercise is that stop. Because with a lot of movements that you do, you are going to have to stop suddenly and have to shift. So when you're doing this, make sure you really emphasize that stop. You're putting a lot of pressure on that front foot and then using the other one to navigate back. Does that make sense?
Okay, good. Again, questions. It's pretty straightforward stuff, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing, which is, so that's why you should do it. Put it in your routine, okay? All right, the next one is the side shuffle. And when we were doing our evaluation, you remember we had you walk forward and then you turn to your side and shuffle. And so this is using that same movement. Okay, so it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you don't have to do 3, you can do 5 or 12 or whatever. Okay, but you are going in both directions. So I'm going, in this, for me, I'm going to my right, and now I'm going to my left. Okay, so you want to just make sure you have both directions. What we're finding with our clients that we're training is if they are one side dominant, that it's harder to go one way than it is the other because they're one side dominant. And so you just have to get used to going in both directions so both sides of your body are getting trained equally. Does that make sense? Okay. What I would do, because this is remarkably confusing, is I would say, I'm going to my right, I'm going to my left. I'm going to my right, I'm going to my left. Okay? Because if I'm going to my right and I turn around, now I'm still going to my right. Make sense? Okay, so just make sure you're going right, going left. All right. That one you can, at first, if this is a challenge, big steps, 2, 3, good. 1, 2, 3. And then as you improve, you pick that up, and then pretty soon, you've got this nice quick movement, and you're just going side to side. Okay? All right. Once you have mastered that, then we go to a grapevine, okay? Where you're here, where you're just crossing over, getting that, challenging your balance a little bit more there. Okay, that also helps with hip mobility to just kind of open up, cross over. Okay, just a grapevine. Again, making sure you're going in both directions. Any questions? Do you need to see that again? Sometimes people do a grapevine, they're always stepping in front, okay? But you're alternating. Step in front, step behind. Okay, step behind, step in front, step behind, step in front. Okay? Questions? My real question is, are you going to do it? Okay, good. Good. Okay, so we've talked about everything on your sheet with the exception of fast feet in your chair. And we do this in our chair class. Mario will testify to that. So when we're marching, we're seated, we're marching, and we just pick up our tempo, and then, pretty soon, this is while we're seated, you're just chopping your feet as fast as you can. Again, the idea is to train your brain to talk to your feet. Go faster. Okay? It's kind of the precursor to better agility. It's not going to help, because you don't need to react quickly when you're seated. Thank you. Seated in a chair, but it just is starting that connection, brain to body. Okay? That you can do anywhere, anytime, right? Yeah. And high knees in the chair, yeah, that's right. If you're watching a TV show, just practice that. Just up, get those feet going. Or lifting those knees. Okay? Any questions? Janessa, have we covered everything? All right. Again, the key is you got to do it. If you want to make a difference, you just have to do it. Train your body to move quickly, react quickly. Oh, there was one other scenario that I wanted to talk to you about, and that's to react to improbabilities. So, if you have someone at home, you can do this. Okay, so we're good. So if we walk at each other, we just have to cut away. Okay? Now, so if we want, yeah, see, that's agility, is that little dance that we do. Okay? That little movement. So you can do that with someone else, or you can do it walking down Bay Street again. Or in the bread aisle. That's right. So just, unsuspectingly just, sorry. Yeah. And we just do that, but just practice, because you see, when you watch the feet, there's just that, quick movement, that reaction. And it's wonderful training. And it's a great way to meet people. Just saying. Again, like Janessa and I, of course, we could do that at home. You could do that at home or here at the gym. But it's something that you are doing intentionally. Getting those feet to move and then react to an unknown environment. That's agility. Okay? Any questions? All right. That's all we have for you today. A little shorter today. Next time, 2 weeks from now, we'll be balanced. So we don't want to miss that, okay? We don't want to miss anything, but especially that. Okay, so 2 weeks from today is balance. If you have any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to ask, all right? It's no good to be wondering if you're not sure what's going on, okay? So, all right. Thank you.